which is Wednesday.
If everyone will begin to take their seats, we will get this December council meeting underway. We have had a busy day going over our committees, resources, education, health, executive finance, rules. And we've had a busy day, but it was a good day. And I'd like to welcome each and every one of you. The Tribal Council staff, I didn't get a chance to let them know today how much we appreciate them, and that's Gail, Shelley sitting to my right, we have Teddy, we have Jennifer, and we have our attorney, Talina, back there for doing an outstanding job and making sure everybody, Jody Reese, our Chief Financial Officer, for first decorating our meeting room, but yet just making sure everything was in place today. So if you would, council members, let's give them applause. This is our December council meeting, and call this meeting to order. If you can stand, and we'll go to the Lord in prayer. The most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening. We know this is a busy time of the year to be happy and make sure that our priorities are straight. But it's a privilege and an honor to take care of our people and serve our people and make sure that we, as we go through our work and committees, that we try to better the lives of our Cherokee people. God, Thank you, dear Lord, for your mercy and grace. Amen. At this time, we will do a roll call. Shelley?
Yes, sir. Bill England. Keith Austin. Here. Harley Bezzard. Here. Joe Bird.
Honey.
Sean Crittenden. Honey. Mike Dobbins. Here. Wanda Hatfield. Rex Jordan. Here. Dick Lay. Mike Shambaugh. Here. Mary Bakershaw. E.O. Smith. Here. Janice Taylor. Here. Victoria Vasquez. Honey. David Walkingstick. Honey. Brian Warner. Honey. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Shelley. At this time, I would entertain approval of the meetings. Minutes. Second. Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the ayes have it. At this time, we will drop down to our State of the Nation by Principal Chief, Mr. Bill John Baker.
OCO, and welcome to the December council meeting. News of the month, as everybody is aware, we had some very dangerous tornadoes sweep through the Cherokee Nation, and we declared it a state of emergency and are helping tribal citizens that were affected. And we want to thank our emergency management team and all those from resources that went out to help people, to clear the roadways, to do the first emergency repairs, along with a great many volunteers from around the Cherokee Nation. Another partnership with the state that I want to highlight is that after 40 years of worrying about the radioactive materials left over at the Sequoia Fuels plant at Kerr-McGee, we had a celebration that I missed to celebrate that 10,000 tons had been removed not only from the Cherokee Nation, but from the entire state of Oklahoma. And we kept it secret until the last of the 500 trucks left the state of Oklahoma. And so that will forever be gone from Cherokee country. I want to thank our employees and members of the community for helping execute another successful angel project where nearly 2,000 angels were adopted as part of the annual campaign to provide children in need at this time of year. Also, our elder program, our Angel Tree for Elders, was quite successful as well. Now, a moment of personal privilege. My mother had emergency surgery last night. The doctor thought that it went well, but that the next 24 to 48 hours was going to be extremely critical. The good news is thousands of people are praying for her, and prayer works. So when the doctor went to visit her today, he thought that he was going to find a very sick and frail 89-year-old woman, only to find that she looked a whole lot better than what he thought she would. So if we'll continue praying, I am convinced that Mother will survive this and be back with us in a few short months. Thank you. Now we get to the part that I do that is always I want to read the names of those Cherokee citizens that were with us last month that are not with us this month, and then we'll have a moment of silence. Lyndall Adair of Broken Arrow, Feather Brown of Tahlequah, Larry Brown of Stillwell, Charles Buckner of Stillwell, Stormy Childers of Salisaw, Andy Cochran of Stillwell, Broxer Collins of Tahlequah, Rhonda Dearman of Claremore, Ella Mae Gregory of Stillwell, Gary Guess of Jay, Garrett Hawkins of Tahlequah, Stuart James of Locust Grove, Helen Panther of Ingalls of Salisaw, Jimmy Lanier of Stillwell, Derek Matthews of Grove, Mike Oldfield of Tahlequah, Daylight Owl of Stillwell, Lloyd Robertson of Stillwell, William Sayre of Salisaw, Boyd Smith of Lost City, Cameron Smith of Webbers Falls, Stephanie Smith of Stillwell, Tammy Smith of Webbers Falls, Walter Spears of Salisaw, Dwayne Springwater of Tahlequah, William Thorne of Tahlequah, Veronica Wayburn of Tulsa, Bonnie Whitekiller of Tahlequah, Lawrence Woodall of Chelsea, and Tom Mooney. Although not Cherokee, he was a friend to the Cherokee Nation and an archivist at the Heritage Center for many, many years. Are there others that I did not have? Keith?
Yes, I'd like to add Opal Payne, who passed away earlier this month, age 97, dear woman, and Paula Dawes from Chelsea, who passed away earlier today.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Dick?
Mike Foster from Oshaleta, and my mother-in-law, Helen Lucille Lum, 95 years old, and
Absolutely.
a lady who I don't understand mother-in-law problems because I never had any, because I had the best.
Yeah.
Bill Jones, Tahlequah.
Emmeline Teehee, my aunt, Weatherford, Texas. Cora Harder, Oklahoma City, my cousin. and also Mike Tesla from Los Angeles, California. His wife was one of the founders of the Cherokee community of the Inland Empire.
Edward Bobyers of Hera and Karen Bailey of Vian.
If you'd bow with me, please. Well, I wish each of you a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Thank you, Chief. This time we drop down to our Cherokee Warrior Veterans Awards by our Deputy Chief, S. Joe Crittenden.
Good afternoon, Speaker, Council, guests, friends, employees, staff. It's been a good day in the Cherokee Nation. The weather's been agreeable, and we got some good work done, I understand. We have 4 veterans tonight to honor with the Medal of Patriotism. And Speaker, I need you to come and help, please, with this first veteran. And anybody else from Cherokee County that wants to come down, please feel free to do so. Our first veteran tonight is a gentleman named Jamie Cochran. Jamie, would you come forward, sir? Jamie Cochran chose to join the Marine Corps in 1963. From that day on, he spent 4 years in the Marines in different Corps camps from Parris Island, South Carolina to Southeast Asia. Jamie was transferred to Vietnam for a year, stationed at Shore Party, Vietnam, where he was part of a team that unloaded various ships with the artillery, the explosives, and other supplies at the air base Chu Lai, Vietnam. Jamie returned stateside to Camp Pendleton, California, where he was honorably discharged as an E5 sergeant in 1967. His decorations and medals and badges: the Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal with 1 star, Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal with Device 60, Marksman Badge M14. And Mr. Cochran, on behalf of a grateful nation, I want to thank you for your service to this country, sir.
All right, now you want to bring the family down and get a picture with them? I know.
Come on. Grab the pretty one right here. Pretty one right there. Yeah, this is Cherokee, right?
Wow.
Come on, guys, get down here.
Okay, right here on 3. 1, 2, 3. Take one more. 1, 2, 3.
One more.
Hold it. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Would you like to say anything, sir?
Just that freedom isn't free.
Absolutely.
Now, if I could have our at-large council members come forward, please. Our second veteran tonight is a gentleman by the name of Jeremiah Cochran. Jeremiah, would you come forward, sir? Jeremiah enlisted in the Army in 1963. He was sent to Fort Polk, Louisiana for training. After training, he was sent to Fort Rucker Military Post, Alabama for 3 months, where he received his orders for Vietnam. After a year's time stateside at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, he returned overseas to Germany for a year before he was deployed back to Vietnam. In '66, he returned to the States and was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. After 2 tours in Vietnam and 2 tours in Germany, he was honorably discharged in 1970 as an E5 specialist. Medals and ribbons: the Vietnam Service Medal, Campaign Medal, Vietnam Service Medal, Army Overseas Medal with 4 bars, National Defense Service Medal, Expert Rifle M16 badge. Mr. Cochran, on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you for your service to this country, sir.
You just forgot to put it on there. I'll never tell her name. Her name?
Oh, 1 second.
That's right, that's right.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
All right. You got any family you want to come down, or you want to borrow his, or what you want to do?
We ain't got that much room.
Okay.
I think I'm up on the son here.
Well, come on, son. Slide right in here. I know you're proud of your daddy.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
And would you like to say anything, sir?
Not really. Just
Our third veteran this evening, and I need Councilman Austin, would you come forward, sir, and help us with this? Is Ernest E. Hayes, Korean veteran. Would you come forward, sir? We can come to you, sir. We'll come to you if we need it.
I moved kind of slow.
It's okay. It's okay. That's right.
I almost rushed you for that coat.
In 1948, at the age of 17, Mr. Hayes entered the U.S. Navy from Oklahoma City to San Diego, California. In '49, he was assigned to temporary duty to an amphibious base at Coronado Island in California. He was then fully assigned to the USS Boxer, CV-21, aircraft carrier, Pacific Fleet, flight deck launching and retrieving personnel. In 1950, Mr. Hayes was assigned to Naval Air Station, North Island, San Diego, California, as a fire suppression and a pilot rescue personnel. In '51, he enlisted for a 1-year extended tour of duty due to the Korean conflict and was honorably discharged in 1952. Medals received: the Navy Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal. Mr. Hayes, on behalf of this grateful nation, thank you for your service to this country, sir.
All right, let's take a picture.
okay, right here on 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Take one more phone.
And would you like your family to come down? Family? We'll take a big family photo. How's that? Good. Oh yeah, the tall guy can stand in the
Okay, right here on 3. 1, 2, 3. Take one more. 1, 2, 3. Take one with the phone.
Mr. Hayes, would you like to say anything?
No, well, yeah, I want to thank you for thinking enough of me to give me this award. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's something we didn't just give you. You earned it.
Oh, that's right. I would like to say something. I know these people well, and I've been in their home and been in their property, and they've been gracious to allow me to roam their property. They are the caretakers of the original site of the Kui Courthouse. They own the property where the Kui Courthouse sat in Kui District.
Right.
And they have proudly kept that property and make it available on special occasions.
Special occasions.
Yeah. So I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
You've served your country in more ways than you know.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your service, sir.
And our last veteran this evening, and Councilman Warner, would you come down and help with this one, sir? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm following directions here on our fourth veteran. So his name is James R. Hogg Nelson. Would you come forward, sir? Mr. Nelson was drafted into the Army at the age of 20 in 1965. He was sent to Fort Polk, Louisiana for 6 weeks of basic training, and he then was transferred to Fort Eustis, Virginia for his advanced individual training. Some folks call it the AIT training. He then became a movement specialist. After 4 weeks of training, he was assigned to the U.S. Military Assistance Command in Saigon, Vietnam. Mr. Nelson was ultimately designated to be an advisor to the Army of the Republic of Vietnam. He traveled throughout South Vietnam in that capacity for one tour. Mr. Nelson returned stateside and finished out his 2-year obligation at Fort Polk, Louisiana. And he was honorably discharged in '67 as a Specialist E4. Decorations, medals, badges, and ribbons, the Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Service Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Sharpshooter M14 badge. And Mr. Nelson, on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you for your service to this country.
Here on 3, 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3.
And would you like your bride to come down?
Gina.
Jean, okay.
All right, boys, let's shift back and give them girls run together here. Summer's in the key of B there. It's all right. That's a good key for you, I think.
Okay, right here on 3. 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3.
Hogg, you want to say anything?
How much time we got?
It ain't my meeting. You just have at
I
it,
don't
son.
need to say a thing. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Good to see you. If I could say one other thing, Speaker, as we gather at our homes and celebrate Christmas, let's remember the sick and afflicted, those that are someplace where they'd rather be home. You know, they'd rather be home than where they are. And let's always remember our veterans, men and women, standing in harm's way today. I've spent Christmases just like these folks have, away from home, and it's a lonely time out there sometimes. So let's just remember them in our prayers. Thank you.
Sure will, Deputy. Who on the council here, if you raise your hand, how many veterans do we have on the council here? 1, 2. Okay. Deputy, and you're a veteran, right? Let's give them an applause here. Action of unfinished business, we have none. Committee reports. Mr. Sean Slayton, we let him go home early. He said he had a business to take care of, and we had him today to give an update, so he's not here. So what we'll do is no old business, we'll jump to our committee resolutions. The first one, Councilor Vasquez, would you take that? This is a resolution to put in the land in trust.
This is a resolution authorizing the placement of land in trust, the John Ross Museum. Put that in form of a motion.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The next resolution, Councilor Taylor, would you take that?
This is a resolution confirming the reappointment of John C. Garrett as a Justice of the Cherokee Nation Supreme Court, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Speaker?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't here for committee. I'd like to be added as a sponsor.
Okay. Everybody being a sponsor, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Everyone?
Yes. Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Judge?
Well, my swear-in is not here, but we have our district judge here that could perform the function if he's like.
That would be fine.
We can change the
Okay.
I always have to spell everything out.
That's why we confirmed Judge there, so he could.
He swore me in, so I'm going to swear.
There you go.
I say your name. I, John C. Garrett, do solemnly swear or affirm. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute. That I will faithfully execute the duties of Supreme Court Judge of the Cherokee Nation. The duties of Supreme Court Judge of the Cherokee Nation. And will, to the best of my ability. And will, to the best of my ability. Preserve, protect, and defend. Preserve, protect, and defend. The Constitution of the Cherokee Nation and the United States of America. The Constitution of the Cherokee Nation and of the United States of America. I swear or affirm further. I swear or affirm further. That I will do everything within my power. That I will do everything within my power. To promote the culture. To promote the culture. Heritage. And the traditions of the Cherokee Nation. And the traditions of the Cherokee Nation.
Judge, if you will share the oath with our secretary here, she will make the appropriate changes. Judge, you got anything to say?
The only thing I'd say, it's an honor to get to continue to serve the Cherokee Nation in the capacity that I think I have some expertise in, and I appreciate your support. It's an honor.
Thank you. Okay. Councilor Shambaugh, you want to take the next one?
This is a resolution electing Janice Taylor to the office of Secretary of the Tribal Council, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. The next one, Councilor Vasquez, you want to take that one?
A resolution recommending requirements for Supreme Court justice appointments and requests for comment from the Cherokee Nation Judicial Branch. Move for its approval.
Got a motion?
Second.
Second? Any discussion?
Speaker,
Yes.
just clarification, so the Supreme Court's going to be the ones bringing requirements to the tribal council?
We made some recommendations, and then they will look at those recommendations.
Okay, and they're going to report back?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion second? Okay. Motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, ayes have it. Okay, one. Okay. Councilor Buzzer, would you take the next one?
An act amending Legislative Act 22-18, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2019, Mod 2, and declaring emergency. I put that in the form of a motion.
Got a motion? Second. And a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, at this time, I'd entertain a motion to amend the agenda.
Make a motion, we amend the agenda to add items 6 through 12 out of various committees today. Second.
6 through 10 or 6 through 12? Okay. Got a motion and a second to amend the agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Councilor Shaw, you want to take item number 6?
Thank you. It's a resolution authorizing the principal chief to execute certain contracts. I put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. 2. Number 7, Councilor Lay, you want to take that?
Yes, sir. Resolution certifying compliance with 24 CFR Section 9, 2003 edition, 1003.604. Citizen participation. Put that in form of a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Coming out of rules, Councilor Warner, you want to take that?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a resolution appointing Lyndon Emberton to the Cherokee Nation Elected Officials Citizen Committee, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Councilor Austin, you want to take item number 9?
Yes, sir. This is a resolution appointing Suzanne B. Gilstrap to the Cherokee Nation Elected Official Citizens Committee. And I'll put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Councilor E.O. Smith, you want to take number 10?
Resolution complimenting and showing appreciation to Oklahoma Attorney General Mike Hunter for his work in support of wearing eagle feathers during graduation. Put that form of motion.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Councilor Taylor, you want to take number 11?
This is an act amending Legislative Act 21-18, authorizing the comprehensive capital budget for fiscal year 2019, Mod 1, and declaring an emergency. And I put that in the form of a motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
A second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Councilor Crittenden, you want to take number 12?
Well, my iPad went dead, so I'll have it run on. Oh, here it is. Act amending Legislative Act 22-18, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2019, Mod 3, declaring an emergency. Put that in the form of a motion.
Got a motion. Got a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. And that concludes our business items. Announcements to my right. Anybody? Okay. And we do have CNB board member with us tonight, Brent Taylor. Thought I saw you. They do an outstanding job. Let's give him an applause here. I saw our executive director of our Heritage Center as well, Dr. Charlie Gord. Thank you for coming tonight. Any announcements to the right here? To the left? We are having an open house for the Tribal Council tomorrow. Our feed would be 11 to 2. Everybody's welcome. Employees' preference, but the rest of you, if you're guests, come and show up. Just have a good attitude about everything. So it'll be 11 to 2. So we appreciate you and safe travels home. And our treasurer, we're always thankful that you're here to support our cause, and thank you for being here. So anyway, I need a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Got a second? Augie Yossi.